Well, hello my friends, welcome to Cheat Meal Monday, and today's meal is going to be, instead of creamed dried beef, it's going to be a creamed bologna over toast. And since I was going with the bologna theme of last week, I'm going to share with you one other food item that we like to make using sweet bologna, and that is creamed dried beef, but instead of the dried beef, which is very high in sodium and also extremely expensive, we substitute the beef for the bologna. So let's get started. The first thing I like to do is I take some milk that it needs to get used up. It's not expired, but if it's milk that should be used up, we will use some of this milk first. So always use your older ingredients first. Now this is a recipe that I have been making for 30 years, and it is not a recipe that is written down. So I'm going to estimate for you all, and it's going to be about 2 quarts of milk. So what we're going to do is make a roux, and that is we're going to add 2 quarts of milk. You can use 2% or whole. I have a little bit of 2% and a little bit of whole milk. To that we're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to set it on high. While your milk is still cold, we are going to open up my flour that I oven dried, and we're going to take my new measuring cup that Patty gave me, and we're going to measure 2 cups of flour. Now, like I said, I don't usually measure, so I'm going to go with this. I just go by the consistency of it. If you want your roux, I call it a roux. If you want it to be a little thinner, then you don't add as much flour. If you want it thicker, then of course you add more flour. So we're going to add 1 cup while the milk is still cold. This is one of the food items that are better the next day. I also like to give a special shout out to the anonymous friend who sent me a bunch of aprons. She said, "Tessie, keep my name out of it, but I want you to have some aprons because there's no cook should be without any aprons." So she gave me a couple of hers that she no longer uses. So thank you so much to my sweet, sweet subscriber. Hi, girl. So we had 1 cup of flour, and now I exchange it for a whisk, and we're going to whisk that. If you add the flour to the milk when it's cold, you're not going to have lumps, problem with lumps. So we're going to add our other cup of flour. Now this will thicken as it stands. So just keep that in mind, that the longer this stands, the thicker your gravy is going to get. And that is just regular, unbleached, all-purpose flour. And yes, you can probably substitute that for other flour. I do not know about whole wheat flour because that is something I've never tried with whole wheat. So I do not know what whole wheat would do, but you could probably use it for other flours. Then what we're going to do is use 1/2 to 3/4 pound of Seltzer sweet bologna, or any kind of bologna that you would like to use. The sweet is what's preferred because the sweet actually has a better flavor when you are cooking it and making it hot. So we're going to put that in. And I just sliced them in the package. Also, you can make this, and once it's thickened, you can put it in your crock pot and set it on low, and it can set on low for a few hours. So that is another way that you can make this if you don't want to be standing beside the stove. And I'm going to stir this for a few minutes, and when it gets nice and thick, then I'm going to show you what it looks like and then how I serve it. Okay, so we're going to keep stirring it, and it's starting to get a little thicker. And as you can see, there are hardly any lumps in it, and we'll keep stirring it. This is a good meal if you're feeding a lot of hungry boys or a lot of hungry men. Back in the Depression era, they ate this a lot because it had flour and it was milk, and flour is very filling. This is not a low-calorie meal. This is a fairly high-calorie meal, but it doesn't take much of it to fill the bellies. And when you had farmers working out in the fields, especially in our area, the Pennsylvania Dutch area, this was something that filled their bellies, and the men really enjoyed it. Let me go ahead and get a wooden spoon and show you what it looks like. So that's what it looks like. And it will thicken up. And like I said, this does taste better the next day than it actually does the first day. Because the sweet bologna is able to marinate much better and the flavors come out. But it is an amazing, amazing meal. And what I am making beside it is a pot of peas. So we're going to have peas on the side, and peas are something that's a really good side vegetable to your cream dried beef substitute cream dried bologna. So I don't know really what the name of it is. So I call it cream dried bologna. The sodium content in the cream dried bologna is a lot less than the cream dried beef, but the calorie intake is probably about the same. The nutritional value, I am not sure. I know cream dried beef, the dried beef, the nutrition value isn't all that high as well, but I am not sure if you want to know the nutritional value of this meal. I only know that this is a cheap meal, and it's very filling, and we enjoy it maybe once a month. And we don't eat a lot of bologna, it's just we eat bologna for the egg sandwiches, and we eat the bologna for this meal. But generally we don't eat a whole lot of bologna. Alright, I'm going to get back to you when everything is done. As you can see, it's really thickening up. And it's almost finished. And I'm going to plate it up, and I'm going to show you what it looks like all plated up. Dehydrated herbs. This is just a small sampling of the herbs. And what I like to do with my dehydrated herbs is take a little pinch like that, and I sprinkle that in. We eat our dehydrated herbs on everything. So that's what it looks like inside. And it is parsley, some garlic, some onions, some little thyme, and this one has just a little bit of oregano, but mainly it's parsley, onion, garlic, and a little thyme, and a little pepper, bell pepper in it. It just smells so good. And that's what it looks like. So that's finished. So I gotta wait till my peas are done, and then we'll plate it up, and I'll show you what it looks like all plated up. So my friends, this is what it looks like, and it is creamed bologna on toast, a little bit of parsley from the herb garden, and a little bit of peas, and my homemade butter. And Chevy Man is digging in it.
This is good eating.
Thanks again for what?
I look forward to this meal.
Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye guys! Hi my friends, if you liked this last video, can you do me a favor? Can you share it, or like it, or make sure you're subscribed? By sharing and liking my video, it helps get my video out into the world, and YouTube recognizes that video, and I will get more views. Thanks again so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.